Oi chummers, my name is McDougall, and this time around I'm going to show you a tutorial on how to implement crafting into your UGC, because I've heard that some of you may want to have this in your games. So, let's start. What I did here is simply create a camera region because I want to have some music when I later shoot a level, some basic layout, a crafting station because you want to have some point later on to trigger a conversation, which we are coming to later, which will actually handle the so-called crafting. And since I will always, in those different iterations of crafting I want to show you, have up to 3 items that you will get, I have those 3 items. Those 3 props here in the scene, and I will make all of those interactable. And since all of those are supposed to give you items, I'll make them as non-destructible item pickup interaction types. I could at first create items that are going to be very important, but well, you know, just want to start with those. Alright. So, this is a very simple way to create those items that you can take to craft and to create other items. So at first, let's have a quest item, and let's call this quest item keycard. Maybe you want to gain a keycard in your game, which has the awesome name keycard in editor and in an actual game, but maybe for you it's too easy to just get a keycard the usual way. Maybe you don't just want to go to some guy and say, "Hey man, give me a keycard, alright, thank you," and then you're on. Maybe you want to have some other items to make that keycard with. So, we're going to create a wiped keycard. Oh. Alright. But not only this, but also some biometric data, because we want to have some data to put on this keycard. And last but not least, we want the dossier, because in a dossier there's a photograph and so on, everything you want to have. Now that we have those items, we can assign one of these 3 items to each of those. Select an item, quest, wipe keycard. Select an item, quest, dossier, and select an item, quest, and biometric data. Alright. So we can now go to our conversation, insert some dialogue, craft a keycard. But this has... no. I was too fast here. What do you want to do with your crafting station? Then we can select that we want to indeed craft a keycard, but we have some conditions for this one. Prerequisites, requisites, and we want the actor to have those items. So evaluate if actor has item. So we want him to has. Play character 0 is right. And we want him to have our quest items. The wipe keycard. I'm going to copy this and paste it 2 times. Come on. And not just the wipe keycard, but we also want him to have the dossier, and we also want him to have the biometric data. When this link is chosen, when we have those, we are going to get... This looks interesting. Let me save this first. There's sometimes a bug with this, but when we restart this window, get back here, we can just delete this wipe keycard. So now that we have made sure that we have everything that we need, we can go to actor and remove those items from the actor. So as we just checked, we don't want a toast notification because that's a little pop-up that shows up, but we're not interested in that because, well, you know, we're gaining something, we're not just losing something. So who the heck cares that our web keycard is used up? It's not gone. Neither are the dossier or the biometric data. So we can still use those. And we are not just removing those, we are also going to add actor, and we are going to add the item quest item keycard to us. We want a toast notification this time, so the player is seeing, hell yeah, I got my friggin' keycard. So let's see, when we click on this conversation, it's not properly showing up because we can't do it yet. We can have that keycard. We got a wipe keycard, and we're picking up our dossier, but still nothing happens because we are missing the biometric data. But since we got this now, we are able to craft a keycard, and well, we are indeed getting alright, so it looks like we are getting pop-up after all, but here it is, our keycard. Everything else is gone. So we can go to the corporate business now, to the corporate facility with our keycard. So as I was just showing you, we were using quest items that are going to travel with you into every scene transition, and we exchange those for a different quest item. But what if we don't want another quest item, but what if we want to create our own deck? So we're just changing some UI names here, so it's probably lining up. Maybe we want to get a keyboard, and maybe we also want to get a CPU, and just maybe we also want to get a motherboard. And what do we want to do with those? Well, let's go into the conversation and let's find out. As you can see, since I only changed the UI name, I can still use those different names and I don't have to assign them again. But this time around, I do still want to remove those items, but I don't want to have a key card this time. What I want is a deck. So I'm going to go to CyberDecks, and we're just going to get a CyberDeck Sony. Yes, I want to override this conversation, and let's check it out. If we can... Oh, wait! We could be able to just get our deck, but what if we want to be a true decker? We don't just want to be someone who is getting this item because he has those items, but this is crafting, you know? This is crafting, and we want to require a decking skill of 3. Because a shaman shouldn't be able to get this, right? Let's try it out. Well, before we can try it out, we also have to set a condition that actually we want to compare an actor skill, player character 0, base, decking skill is equal to or greater 3. Of course, this time around we don't want to have a mage or an adept, but a decker. We're going to check his skills, and indeed he has decking 6. So he's quite able to do what we want him to do. Click on a plus, click on confirm, and let's go on to obtain our motherboard CPU, and finally our keyboard. Let's go to our crafting station and decking skills 3 craft. Alright, it still says keycard, but I just would have to rename it to, you know, cyberdeck. And there it is. I can even swap it out with my current cyberdeck and confirm. And here we are. There I am with my new Sony CT Epsilon 360 cyberdeck. Last but not least, what if I wouldn't want to always lose everything I have, but instead have one or even two items that persist? So for example, maybe this time around I want to get some painkillers, and maybe I also want to get some amphetamines. And maybe I also want to get some test tubes. And I want the test tubes to stay the same after all in the end. But a keycard this time. Oh no, we don't even need a keycard. So this time around let's again go to this. We don't need a skill this time around. We don't want to craft a keycard, but we want to mix kamikaze or kamikaze. Don't know what it's actually pronounced in English, and I gotta say I don't really care. So it was the wipe keycards that we called test tubes. Test tubes are something you can use every so often again. So we won't remove the so-called wipe keycard this time. But we don't want cyberdeck 2. Instead we want kamikaze. So let's test out if this works. I missed something. This time around we don't need to have a decking skill, because hell, why would the decker need to make some kamikaze? Then it's a fighter struck, you know? It's quite early in the morning, so please bear with me. We're on to it. So let's get it. Painkillers and amphetamines and test tubes. Go to our crafting station, mix kamikaze, remove the amphetamines, remove painkillers, item added kamikaze. In my mission items I still have my test tubes, and I could use those again and again and again to mix different kind of drugs. I could make a lot of entries, or at least for those drugs that are in the game, and make it retainable, craft those again and again, as I just said. And as you can see here, we have our kamikaze. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial as well as you hopefully did other ones. I hope you would join Shadowrun.com, and I really hope, because this game is so friggin' awesome that you really want to play it, will buy Shadowrun Returns now or on this Thursday, because it's coming out now, guys. It's here, almost. Have fun, feel free to like, comment and subscribe.